Okay, I call these videos Join the Dots, where you just go, snap, what's going on here? You don't have to be able to read, even, just looking at pictures, you know. And you can make these videos, there's no airs or graces, and do them yourself if you want. Because people need to open their eyes and say, hey, the emperor's bollocks naked. You know? And some things is just, some people just notice and say, hey, well, look at that. You know? And other people may not have noticed this, so pop it up there, you know, on your Twitter, 2 pictures, and say, hey, look at this. Yeah. I done that recently with John Kerry and Anthony LaVey of the Church of Satan. And I pictured the 2 of them in a newspaper together. And Kerry, I think, was fundraising or something. That's madness, you know. But a lot of people retweeted it, you know, because it was staggering to me. It was an eye-opener to me. So, if you think something or you hear something, Google it and have a look at the pictures where it goes images. Let's see, Google Bono and world leaders, right? And I click along here and I go to images or videos. And we'll just go on images. Right, this one, this Join the Dots. By the way, I smoke my medical marijuana. I've had 2 major operations on my feet, and I'm just having a little smoke of this while I make my video. I'm totally anti-PR. I call it prick reaction, where you've been trained to react like a prick and say nothing. So I'm going to be looking at that as well in the course of this little video. I'll try and make this one quick, right? So, when I go Bono with world leaders, I get Bono with European leaders, I get Bono at the World Economic Forum, starting with Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, is that Kofi Annan, Tony Blair, and Bono, wolf in sheep's clothing, right? This is incredible, like, you know. This guy appears everywhere. Now, by the way, this guy, you know, only grew up a couple of miles away, like, you know, in a place called Finglas, like, you know. Where I originally lived, it was next door pretty much, you know. So, anyway, here's and he's gone, and they've been taken and elevated, right, up to appearing with every single world leader. George Bush, Bono with Nelson Mandela, right? Oh, who's he on with there, right? Oh, well, there he is with Al Gore, right? You see Bono there, right? Yeah, and religious leaders, world leaders, again, Clinton Global Initiative, right? Notice the billboards in the background. Bono on the cover of Time magazine. Can Bono save the world? Hey, hold on a second. I'm a citizen of this world. I might have something to say about. What's the story here? Who's this fucking guy? How the hell does he get to save the world? Right? I thought Jesus saved the world. Right? He's a Christian, is he? I don't know, you see. Because Bono is very ambiguous. He's kind of like, you know, can't see or be seen in the black and the red. You don't know where he is, man, you know. Yeah. They say he lives in Ireland, right? But he's all over the world, right? Yeah. Yeah. Georgetown University standing up at the pulpit giving it out, right? And there he is standing there, right, with Bill Gates. Yeah. Billionaires, you see, right? The men who rule the world. And here he is on the cover of Fortune, Bono. The world's 50 greatest leaders. What the fuck's going on here? This is incredible, right? So Bono, right, is the common denominator. Oh, there he is with another one. But these are both Soros. By the way, it's Sir Bono. The only reason he doesn't get called Sir Bono is because he's an Irish guy, like Bob Geldof, but Sir Bob Geldof. Yeah? Oh, and here we are, the Clinton Global Initiative again. Okay, yeah, and let me see, let's just go down. We haven't even touched on it, because you could Google Bono religious leaders, Bono with particular names, okay, and then see all the connections that come up, and it's just page to page that this guy appeared. And by the way, here's one that's relevant to me, right? Bono, right, with the global, and it's the Canadian guy who's in, and he's got his coloured socks, you see. Always has a bit of colour in his socks, you see, right? And you see, if I go right up to the top of it, right? If I go right up to the top, where do I see him? You see Bono, this guy appeared in, right? His image has appeared in the Canadian leader, right? And, you see, it's got to be there. I can't see it there, sorry, earlier on. But you'll notice these connections to yourself. You say, hold on a second, how come he's all of a sudden appearing all the time? Because over in Ireland, right, okay, we have now, right, okay, got them pumping in and moving into position, right? The first gay leader, a guy called Leo Varadkar, who's done absolutely nothing except for pose in front of the camera during the equality vote. And now they want to further change the amendment, right, okay, the constitution, right, okay, by affecting the 8th Amendment to bring in abortion. Well, what they're really doing is, right, okay, correcting God when they correct the amendment, like, you know. I'm moving him out of the equation. I'm moving in human rights, undermining Christianity in Ireland, and they can't wait for the old people to go and croak it, right? While they're programming their young in right from schools, right? Okay, religio, politically, spiritually, mentally. It's tribal the way they're getting them to vote now. You see, all the gays will go out and vote for Leo now. It's tribal voting, you know. But anyway, right, I want to show you how it stems from a long time back. So the connection I want to make is between George Soros. Now, people that know Bono, with George Soros, you might be so familiar. So quickly, George Soros is a Hungarian-American investor, business magnate, philanthropist. Jesus said in the Gospel, right, on the Sermon on the Mount, actually, he says, when you do your charity, don't do it in public. He said, this, okay, yeah, because it's relevant for today. You see, the philanthropist will always take the piss. Jesus knew that and he was warning us. Yeah, philanthropist. Yeah, and the Soros is considered by some to be one of the most successful investors in the world. Yeah, in the world, right, yeah. So let's have a look at George Soros quickly. Okay, we just want to go in and tell you about it. He was born in Budapest. He survived Nazi Germany and occupied Hungary and emigrated to England in 1947. He attended the London School of Economics, graduating with his bachelor's and eventually his master's in philosophy. So he was picked up during the Second World War, right, where his family, right, bought, right, okay, Christian identity. And where he was in a group, okay, that were managing to survive what was happening, and he was recruiting in people, going around and giving out leaflets to round up the Jews, right? And then he goes over to England, which is the financial hub, right, okay, of the world, right? The Jesuits, run by the Jesuits. So we have the Jesuit connection there, right? Yeah. And George Soros, right, okay, his foundation is called Open Borders, and he wants to tear down all the borders. And for people in Ireland, he finances, okay, and is with Barack Obama because they wanted to take down the border of America as a nation. And they want us all to be fucking one. One, you see, no borders. And they want to tear down all the borders, okay, between everything, between your sexes. That's why you have the whole trans thing, right? Yeah? But there's one border they want to keep in place. We're the higher evolved religio. We get to control you, yeah? And you're the goyim down there, right? And they set up bands, right, to get your children, right, okay, yeah. And you two were a band set up. Now I want to go back here, right, okay, and quickly now. So, look, I could go on to George Soros, right, yeah. I'll show you this little start of this, right, for people in Ireland, right, yeah.
Hungary is taking issue with billionaire George Soros. The hedge fund manager is being criticized by his home country for supporting illegal immigration. The right-wing government is feeling the pressure amid the refugee crisis, slamming Soros for promoting liberal migrant policies. The billionaire himself has previously criticized the Hungarian government for the way it's dealing with the crisis. Soros continues to back a variety.
Right, so Soros is there, right, okay, and you can go on and you can hear Soros saying, right, okay, there's an old Hungary and there's a new Hungary that wants to come through. This new old Hungary is the Christian, right, okay, and he wants to tear down the borders where it's all one world, right, and his map, right, you can go and you can see this in videos, is basically what the British monarchy was and the re-establishment of that, right, have no doubt about it, right. It's from his own words. You'll find it on videos. So George Soros, right, is loyal to the Queen, educated in London, right, okay, and comes over from Nazi Germany, right? Now, well, let's look at Bono, who is also loyal to the Queen, because don't forget, Bono is Sir Bono, right? So if I go, here we go, Bono. This Google is Bono with world leaders. Bono, okay, is with everybody. He's on the cover of Time magazine. He wants to save the world. Google it yourself. Bono and Bob Geldof, two Sors. Sir Bono, right, He's Irish, so he doesn't get the sour part, right? But it's the same thing. He's knighted, and his loyalty is to the Queen. You see? I want to look at that, right, okay, and bring that now to 40 years ago. And I want to look at a couple of little bits of an interview that is up there for everyone to see. An interview with U2 in 1987, right? And bearing in mind at this moment in time, U2 are back in America with the Joshua Tree. They're touring it. And at this very moment in time, right, there's so many things happening in the music world that are so perfect for the music world. I'd be joining the dots there, like, you know what I mean, to do it, like the Manchester bombing there, right, you know, they're all kind of relaunching themselves. Robbie Williams got his concert going, just happens to be at the right time. Noel Gallagher, right, okay, and Liam Gallagher are mouthing off in the press while Liam's fucking trying to start it up, right, okay, but people can see what's happening, you know. They're using, like, you know what I mean, the bombing to launch their own careers, like, you know what I mean, they had to relaunch, right. If you ask me, my personal opinion, but I'm allowed having that, haven't I, right, okay, when all this shit is put up in front of our eyes, right, okay, I'm allowed look and say, hey, hold on a second, right, let me join a few dots here, right, yeah. This emperor is bollock naked, right, so I have U2 with Amnesty International. Now U2, when they were made a band, all their albums would join Amnesty International, right, to free Nelson Mandela, because they wanted to take Africa. See, Nelson Mandela is part of the clique, right, okay, he goes under house arrest. What's that? There's no camera showing you sitting there under house arrest, right, okay, yeah. And these people are occultists, they study. Hey, Nelson Mandela's over there fucking living his fucking life. If he wants to go down to a beach in Malibu, he's probably sit there with Bono having pina coladas. Right? Alright, I'm going back over. Yeah, I have to go over into Canada now and Vancouver and start my new world tour. Right? These people are all playing together, all part of a clique, okay, to create a global planet, a one world government, one network. This is what we're doing, we're joining the dots here, okay, with this. So now let me look at this interview, okay, and you want you to listen carefully to Bono, right? And remember what we just talked about, open border Soros, and bear in mind this is 30 years earlier. And also bear in mind, now in hindsight, in 2020 vision, because we approach 2020, and clarity of mind is in 2020, right, yeah? But with 2020 vision, right, we can now look and know that everything that has happened afterwards and everything he's promoted and all the agendas he's promoted and who's been with and we've seen him with, right? Remember this.
You're disillusioned by political and religious discord. It might have been the thing that got you together and certainly keeps you going in terms of your belief system.
We're interested in division of all kinds. I'm interested in struggle of all kinds, not just political struggle, but, you know, division between the sexes interests me. Division, religion, political divide, borders. I'm fascinated by borders of all kinds. You know, that, for instance, Berlin fascinates me as a city. Lou Reed's Berlin actually is one of my favourite records.
See, when you're picked up now, don't forget, right, this is U2, right into the heart of their, you know, career at this stage now, it would appear, right, yeah. And when they're picked up, right, okay, and you're initiated in, right, okay, to the club, and the billionaires, right, yeah, you don't get the whole briefing. But you know, who else is a member? Oh, him over there, oh, him there, they're all there, yeah. We're all in this club together. Look at the history books of who's been in this club, because I told you, it's a movement, right, that's gone on for 500 years since the Jesuits. The Jesuits controlled arts and drama for hundreds of years. Arts media, what you see, before the television came in, they controlled it. But they're never going to let you know that, because they want to give you always the illusion that you're free, that you're choosing. But you're not, right? But back there, 30 years ago, he's interested in borders and all that. Just listen to his words again, just quickly, right? Them words he says, right? I'm interested in them.
I wrote about was in Ulster and the hypocrisy of the fact that both religions have the same basic.
You always said you're disillusioned by political and religious discord. It might have been the thing that got you together and certainly keeps you going in terms of your belief system.
We're interested in division of all kinds. I'm interested in struggle of all kinds, not just political struggle, but, you know, division between the sexes interests me. Division, religion,
Kabbalist.
Borders. I'm fascinated by borders of all kinds.
Reconciliating the opposites, the Kabbalists, okay? It's all Kabbalists, you see, you know? You know, these intelligent guys, they know W.B. Yeats back to the States. Bono, years earlier, when they're recording War, is sitting on planes with Gareth Fitzgerald, Fine Gael, who's the party in power now, right, that are putting the gay leader in. And Fianna Fáil are just the other side of the coin. We go into that. But these people are well aware back then. Bono knows W.B. Yeats, he knows the Golden Dawn, he knows the language he's talking about, right? Okay, and he's singing Desert Rose. You see, it was in the desert that Jesus was tempted. And the roses is a symbol of Lucifer. And the one, yeah, a man building the Tower of Babel, right? Okay, yeah. And the look on Jesus is actually a man who was stupid enough to try and think that he could pull this off, like, you know what I mean, and he failed, like, you know what I mean, yeah? Yeah? But, right, okay, he had a spirit, but he went a bit over the top. We have to keep ourselves grounded and balanced as Kabbalists and climbing up the tree slowly, yeah? Because they're the cultists, the billionaires and the royal family behind the scene. But we're joining the dots here back to 30 years ago. And let's go now and listen to other parts of the interview. Let's hear
We
this.
feel it strongly because when we first came to America, we faced a real lack of information in the sort of Irish community in the States.
Now, so we face a real lack of information in the Irish community. So you're going to fucking educate them. Do you understand this language? Right? Okay, listen, right? Okay, yeah. About what he's now we continue on. This is to do with Ireland, right? Okay, and the IRA and the war going up in the north, right? Okay, or was it a war? Or what the hell was it, right?
We had come out quite early with a song, Sunday Bloody Sunday, which sort of summed up our own attitude to the North, which really is, you know, I might be prepared to fight for what I believe for, but to kill somebody else, I'd rather die than do that.
Right. Now, you see, this, as a person who grew up in the same age, in the same, you know, city, you know what I mean, yeah? That's exactly what I'd say, like, you know, I'd sooner die, okay, than kill another human being, right, okay, if, you know, this is, you had to go to war now and fight over there, right? And that's submissive, isn't it, like, you know what I mean, yeah? But you see, that's what we were trained in our culture, right, you see? And because in our culture, right, what has happened, right, okay, is through the church and the state is, right, okay, we have been fucking kicked and kicked and kicked. You see? Now, if you kick a dog, because we're talking about forces here and playing around with forces, we're talking about the division between sexes and using, you know, if you're interested in the different borders, we're talking about forces and powers and energies, right? Manipulation, yeah? So, here we are, if we're talking about forces, right? What you do is, if you kick a dog, the dog will turn one of two ways, won't it? Like, it's submissive, right? Okay, right, yeah? If you kick it when it's a pup, right, okay, it'll end up that fucking thing, wouldn't you? Yeah? One of the other submissive, right, okay, yeah? But you're being kicked, you see, anyway, like, you know what I mean? So you're being played with, right, okay, anyway, right, yeah? The whole lot of us, right? But again, that's a power management up the north. And where did the north come from? Well, for people, 100 years ago, there was a rising, right, okay? Yeah? And a few people were killed, right, blown to pieces up in Dublin, right, okay? And then there was an agreement, right, okay, that Ireland would go back to Ireland, right, okay? But they'd keep counties up the north, right, okay? To keep us in stalemate. To give us the impression, right, that they're giving us back, like, you know, but they didn't, right, okay? Yeah? It was just an illusion. Well, they're moving to take Europe, right, okay, America, and then the whole world government, and when they have that, they say, with our stalemate, they say, fuck yous. We're all part of it, you're all under one world government now, right, okay, yeah? And we have that control over you, right, yeah? And there's a border, all right, yeah? It's between us and you, right, okay, yeah? The power elite, right, okay, that run you, the religio-political emperors sitting on their fucking throne, right? And you the game down there. And that's the game that's played with these people, right, yeah? So you two are over there, right, okay, and you have...
What people here seem to be tied into is a kind of romantic image of the struggle there, which really had little to do with the real facts. And, you know, it was a little hard for us at first to come and meet a lot of Irish people in the audience, some of whom were shouting pro-IRA slogans and, you know, holding up placards with Bobby Sands stuff and all that kind of thing. I think without wanting to get on a soapbox about it, through a couple of songs and a couple of interviews, we've been able to shed a little more light on the subject.
It's not really a black and white situation. The situation in Northern Ireland, or even in Ireland, it's very grey. And
yeah, again we go into Kabbalist language. Yeah, you have black magic, you have white magic, and then you have grey magic. Okay, you have it in the middle. Right, but the truth of the matter, it is black and white situation. Ireland is a country that was invaded by an English country who wanted to rule the world, and Christian nation, okay, believes that God created the world, okay, and he sets up the rulers, but all them rulers were taken out of it by this movement in order to rule the world and have it subjected to the Catholic Church, the Roman Empire, the Universal Church, and the Pope sitting on the throne, an emperor. And your ruling monarchies, there's two towers here. Yeah, I keep on saying it, like, you know what I mean, the religion, the Vatican and the monarchy, the British royal family, the two thrones, right, okay, yeah, the two emperors, right, yeah. And so it is a black and white situation. And then, okay, the ruling forces are moving towards globalisation, okay, and they keep the people dumbed down and they program the people. And they're affecting changes in the people's consciousness today at this moment in time through symbols. And you two have been doing it for 30 years through symbols and metaphors. As I show you in the video, Bono, we'll go to it now, right, in a few seconds, we may as well, right, yeah. And we'll listen to Bono saying what he says about symbols and metaphors, right? Today, like, I mean, in 2017, 30 years later. But first, let me finish out this little interview here, right?
people will take advantage of that and as Edge says, romanticize the struggle. But there's nothing romantic about receiving a bullet in the...
Irish politicians have been going over to America, selling it the way they want to sell it. Then they pick up these boys, you see, the billionaires, right, and they put them in as a counterforce. You see, it's good cop, bad cop, you see. Plays them in, you see, to the young people. But it's all to agendas, okay, yeah? Now, I just want to show you something here, right, in this interview here. Let's listen to this.
Street corner, and then just formed a band and went, for it. Just went for it. And we're of that tradition. Tradition, I suppose, of the Beatles and the Who and stuff. That's where we come from. We used to say we were four people
going to work out, and maybe it was going to work out, but they were committed to one another. That, I think, is a big part of it. And there's very few groups that are like that now.
There's no real groups anymore, no rock and roll groups anymore. Four people that just hung out in the same street corner and then just formed a band and went.
And that's back 30 years ago. And it's true that they don't get in, okay, an original band, if you're not to the agenda, you won't be picked up and you don't make it. You see, that's what you two learned when they were picked up. Yeah? They look back at their life and they say, we haven't got a fucking hope unless we were fucking picked up. Yeah? But you can pick up 4 fucking monkeys, like, you know what I mean, as they say, not musicians themselves, like, you know what I mean, to have a bit. Anyone, you see, this is it, can achieve these things, okay, yeah, abilities, right, yeah? But you're not driven to do it, and your life is so a fucking mayhem, right? In the ordinary world, as we call it, right? The goyim, right? Okay? And you look at these people, and they have their life, and they're fucking living and moving and living like kings, right? Because they've been picked up by the billionaires, so that you look at them, and then you're looking at them, they're feeding you things, right? Okay? Into your mind. It's to an agenda, right? Okay? Yeah? Occultist bastards to bring around the change, and the change they want to bring around is rid the planet, okay, of Christianity and of the Lord Jesus. That's why they come, wolves, men of peace, come together right now, all come together, one, the music world, and it's an agenda and where it's driven from, yeah? But I said I was going to go here, I was going to go, let me see, here we go. Videos. I'll be going into this now, right?
I have to say, in the last last years, Eugene's writing has kept me as sane as this is, if you call it sane, which you probably won't. Run with the horses. That's a powerful manual for me, and it includes.
Now here's a dot for you. Bono was promoting this guy's version of the Bible, and it's a Jesuit version of a Bible, right? Yeah, which undermines the Lord Jesus Christ as King of Kings, God, ultimately. In a subtle way, it's doing it. And these changes have been happening over a long course of time in the literary world. And that's why you have so many different versions of the Bible, right? Okay? Yeah? But for Christians, we know that the Bible source for us, right, is the King James Version.
A lot of incendiary ideas. You know, I hadn't really thought of Jeremiah as a performance artist. Why do we need art? Why do we need the lyric poetry of the Psalms? Why do we need art? Because the only way we can approach God is, if we're honest, through metaphor, through symbol. So art becomes essential, not decorative.
Now, when you have that knowledge, and you know that, right? And you're out there and you're pumping out your symbols, like, you know, and your metaphors, you're doing it to an agenda. Yeah? When you two are then jumping up on the stage, right, and supporting the whole trans agenda, right, yeah? And you want your boys and girls going to the same toilets because Bono's interested in the division and the borders, yeah? And the occultist seeks to reconciliate the opposites, right, okay? There is no male, there is no female, it's a spectrum. Beware on it what you want, right, okay? Yeah, God's laws are defunct, right, yeah? God is dead, they say, like Nietzsche. We're the Superman, you know what I mean, yeah? We're the ones, you know what I mean, yeah? Ones, you understand that? So anyway, that's me joining the dots there. I got off on a little bit of a tangent towards the end. Was there anything else that we wanted to look at in the join the dots? No, it was pretty much that, right? Okay, so common denominator is Bono. George Soros and Bono, yeah, there they are, right? Okay, at the World Economic Forum. Buddies, yeah, sons of a gun, right? And here's Bono, you see, with Angela Merkel, UN, Europe. You see, every single one that's attacking Donald Trump, you know, Ireland, you need to go on and look at some videos and see how he finances and creates the protesters, okay, against, okay, the voters in America who voted, okay, to go with Trump, right? So all them pictures are there, right, and the whole climate changing issue now is going to be there, and that's why Bono's there, you see. U2's there, make the biggest band in the world, own it, right, okay, create an icon out of Bono, put them everywhere, right, okay, yeah, and bamboozle people. Is it real? Is it not? You don't know, like, you know what I mean? Vote this way, right, okay, in the amendment. Yes, yes, yes. And you all go out and vote to kill the babies. Because that's what they want to do. They want to control the population. They want to tear up your constitutions. They want to destroy the Christian state. Yeah? That's what they want to do. They want to undermine and rid the planet of Christianity, right? Okay, yeah? And then they want to present Jesus, which they are doing, right? Okay, to your children in a different lane. And it's just, it's the lie. It's the lie. The gospel is the truth, right? So, what more can I say? Get out there, join the dots, like, you know, have a good day, like, you know. It's all before your eyes. The emperor is bollock naked. Just open your eyes, right? Join the dots and you can take back your country, because when you see the truth sets you free. And because there is only one truth, that becomes the new common denominator. It's the Lord Jesus and everything is in him. And he now is revealing that, because when he returns, he pours his spirit upon us, and the spirit is the spirit of truth, so our eyes start to open. Now, unfortunately, you need to have a bit of dirt rubbed in your eyes for that to happen. But you need to have that happen, right, in order to see through the shit, right? So, It's time, right, to open your eyes and just call it as it is. Angels call it as it is. It's as simple as that. Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah. There's no fear here, you know, see. That's the whole PR game. You're afraid to say anything. You're afraid to say, hold on a second. I am in Ireland and I will not, recognise no gay leader who's been voted in by the political system and not by the people. When a year ago there was a standoff for months, because they couldn't put it all together, and instead of giving it back to the people, they sat in there and conjured up their deals to keep power. And they see what's after happening over in the States, like, you know what I mean? They're shitting themselves because a whole country like America, made up of 50 odd states, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, can all turn around and go boom, like that, right? Okay, fuck. Little country like Ireland can change in 30 minutes. That's the fact of it in this day and age. So join the dots and you never know. You might join that dot that just goes viral and everyone goes, fuck, that's it. And we have our freedom and our country back. So join the dots, right, to Eirex. That's what I say, right? Bear with it. Join the dots.